School is finally finished for the weekend. Almost skipping with excitement towards the front gate. I'm jazzed for this weekend. See, this was going to be a weekend for me to remember. I'd bagged me my first ever date with a real girl. She's a hottie, too. Her name is Heidi. We've been speaking now over the internet for the last few weeks. I honestly can't believe my luck. I'd been proudly showing her pictures to my friends for weeks. They all seemed super jealous, and that made me feel great. Looking up to the blue sky with a carefree smile, I hear Eric call out behind me. "Adam!" he yells, running to catch up. I turn to see him bounding across the schoolyard, his dark, long hair dancing around like crazy as he runs towards me. "Whoa!" he huffs, as his run becomes a slow jog. "Where's the fire?" Scratching the back of my head, I allow him to catch up. As he stops next to me and swipes his long hair from his face, he gives me an unimpressed look. "What's the hurry?" he asks, looking at me with a smug expression. "I told you," I reply, a little concerned with the look on his face. "I'm going straight home. I'm meeting Heidi for the first time tonight." Eric's smug smile becomes a wide grin. Feeling like he's up to something, I give him a confused look. "Don't you dare turn up at the cinema," I gripe, jabbing him gently in the shoulder. Being shorter and skinnier than me, I easily push him away. "As if I would do that to my best friend," he answers, regaining his footing. "I know how excited you are to finally meet her face to face." "Good," I say, turning on the spot. "Don't be that guy." Resuming my walk towards the front gate of the school, Eric quickly catches up and walks next to me. I turn to look at him, and he's still got that same smug-looking face from earlier. "What?" I groan, knowing him too well. He's up to something. "What if she's ugly?" he asks, holding back a laugh. "No way!" I instantly reply, annoyed at his suggestion. "You've seen the pictures. She's super hot." "Yeah," Eric continues, giving me a cheeky grin. "It's so great how much you two seem to have in common, right?" "It is," I answer with a straight face. "It's like she knows you already," Eric comments, clearly clutching at straws in his attempts to wind me up. "Shut up, Eric," I playfully growl, bumping my shoulder into him as we walk. "She's my soulmate. All the things I've told her I'm into, she's into too." "Yeah?" Eric chuckles. "Yes!" I instantly reply, bumping him again. "Don't you think I've tested her to see if she's just saying it? She knows all the ins and outs of my favorite stuff. I think we are meant to be together." At the moment, we reach the fork in the road. Our houses are in different directions. Eric just smirks at my comment and nods sarcastically as he walks away. "Whatever, man!" I shout back to him. "You and the rest of the guys will all see her when I bring her to band practice tomorrow." As I turn away, I promised myself I wouldn't let Eric get to me. He knows I'm yet to speak with her or see her in real life. He's just trying to wind me up, just because he can't ever get a girl. Once home, I eat my dinner and make excuses to go get ready. I hadn't told any of my family I was meeting a girl. I know my younger sister, Zoe, would start making a huge deal out of it. I know she'd probably sing the "Kissing in a Tree" song repeatedly. Thankfully for me, they'd been invited out. I think our new neighbors across the street are having a housewarming. Not something I was interested in going to, seeing as I'm about to meet the girl of my dreams. That meant I could get ready for my date alone. Putting on my best shirt and chinos, I put a small dab of my father's aftershave behind my ears. I'd even brushed my hair for her. Not something I liked doing, usually. That's because, with my hair brushed straight, it kinda makes me look a little like a Lego man. Checking the time on my phone, I'd already messaged her to check she was still meeting me at mine. I'd offered to go meet her at hers, but for some reason, she'd been very cryptic about where she lives. I assumed she just had an embarrassing family or something. I could understand that. Awesome, I say, looking at her smiley face emoji reply. Just as I slide my phone into my pocket, the front doorbell chimes. Instantly, I felt extremely nervous. My palms become sweaty as I start to feel terrified about meeting her for the first time. What if she doesn't like me? Slowly making my way down the stairs and towards the front door, I could feel my heart beating like crazy. My mouth had become so very dry. Seeing the shadow of someone feminine standing at the door, I brace myself. Anxiously opening the door, I put on a wide smile. Hi there, I say, excited, but then instantly very frustrated. Eric! What the hell, dude? He stands in the doorway, smiling from ear to ear. Just want to make sure you're all set for the big night. Eric laughs, pushing his way past me and into the house. Annoyed, I reluctantly let him slide past me. Ignoring him, I turn around and reach for my phone to check the time. Eric, I whine as he goes into the kitchen. Come on, man. Please go. She'll be here any minute. Not caring, Eric throws open the fridge and pulls out a soda. Cracking it open, he takes a sip and leans against the kitchen counter. I see you've gone with Lego Man, he comments, pointing with his can at my hairdo. Not wanting to give him the satisfaction, I quickly throw Heidi a message to find out how long she's going to be. As I press the send button, Eric's phone also chimes almost instantaneously. I look up at him, confused. As I look at his blushing face, I shake my head. That had to be a coincidence. Who was that? I ask him, as he looks at the notification on his phone. Oh, no one, he quickly replies, frantically putting his phone into his pocket. Giving him a sideways glance, I look again at my phone to see that Heidi has seen my message, but not yet replied. I decided to follow up with a smiley face. Just as the message sends, Eric's phone chimes again once more. Dreading the truth, I send another message. Yet again, Eric's phone chimes instantly as I press send. I look up at Eric with fury in my eyes. Eric looks back at me with terror and worry. Adam? Eric questions with a croak as I stare him down. You absolute jerk! I shout, forming fists with my hands and raising them to his face. It's you, isn't it? You're Heidi! Eric holds his hands up in surrender. It wasn't my idea, he replies, trying to slowly slip away from me. Wanting to throttle him, I grit my teeth and try counting to 10. He's my best friend, but catfishing me like that was seriously uncool. Why? I ask, rubbing my face in frustration. Why would you do this to me? I thought I'd met the girl of my dreams, and it turns out to be you? It wasn't my idea. Eric again, please. You weren't meant to find out it was me. Forming fists with my hands again, I get right up into Eric's stupid face. What was supposed to happen then? I growl, grabbing him by the scruff of his neck. Were you going to just let me get stood up like a complete loser? Clearly too terrified to tell me the truth, he just looks in every other direction to avoid my glare. No way is that going to happen, I gripe, finally letting go of him and taking a step back. I've got a better idea. Looking Eric up and down, an idea to get payback had already started forming in my mind. Eric wasn't a particularly masculine-looking guy. With his long, dark hair, he looked actually a little more feminine than he really should. Also, being rather short, with small feet, he could easily fit into my sister's clothing. Well, what is it? Eric asks, rubbing his arm, still trying to back away from me. Giving him a sinister grin, I lean towards him. You're going to be Heidi tonight, I command. What? Eric quickly answers, looking at me like I'm mad. Oh, yes, I reply back confidently. You're going to march upstairs, pick out an outfit from my sister's closet. Once you've done your hair and makeup, you are taking me to the cinema. That's dumb, Eric replies, shaking his head frantically. Why would I do that? 2 reasons, I answer with a wide grin. You clearly like pretending to be a girl. And if you don't, I'm going to tell Amanda that it was you who posted those pictures of her. You wouldn't. Eric's pleas getting right up close to me. I will, if you don't get upstairs right now and go put on a dress or something, I growl, pushing him back in the chest. Adam! Eric whines as I push him towards the stairs. Come on, man! It wasn't my idea! Don't care, I instantly reply. You've got 40 minutes before we have to leave. I wouldn't wait around. I'm sure Zoe doesn't want to see you trying on her clothes. Serious! Eric replies, looking back at me as he moves towards the stairs. Don't do this to me. I don't want to be your date. Clearly, you do, I growl back, pushing him up the first step. You want to roleplay being a girl? I'm going to make your dream come true. Get upstairs, Heidi, and get ready for our date. Crap, Eric huffs, turning and stomping up the stairs. Don't forget to stuff your bra, I cry out, laughing. Leaving him to cool off for a minute or two, I look at some of the pictures he'd sent me when pretending to be Heidi. I can't help but wondered where he'd got them from. Looking closer at the girl's face in the pictures, she did look somewhat familiar to me, but I can't put my finger on who she was. I guess she couldn't be anyone. He probably just searched for pictures of pretty girls on Google. Locking my phone, I start to hear him crashing around in my sister's room. I decide to follow him up and investigate. He better be doing as I told him, otherwise I'm spilling the beans. Poking my head around the door, I see him half naked, fighting to clasp up one of my sister's bras. I wanted to laugh and point, but I just covered my mouth and kept watching. I was very surprised to see he's gone for a knee-length pleated skirt. The dark tights and chunky heeled shoes really went well together, too. A little too well, if you ask me. That's when I see Eric stuff socks into his bra. I couldn't hold back my laughter any longer. That's so funny! I wail out in hysterics. You're actually going for sock boobs? Adam! Eric screeches, covering his half-naked body and chest. Dude, uncool! Still laughing. This whole situation was starting to make me feel a little better. Eric actually was fitting into my sister's stuff so well. A skirt? I ask, curious as to why he'd decided that. Yeah, he answers, taking a step back and looking away. We don't want people knowing it's me, right? I need to look seriously feminine. What's more feminine than a skirt? Sure, I reply, nodding my head. A prom dress? F off, Eric gripes, adjusting the bra he'd finally got latched together. Don't be like that, Heidi, I say, giving him a sarcastic grin. Raising his middle finger to me, he takes a small black top and pulls it over his face. Huffing, as he has to pull it over his bra, he looks at me with such an unimpressed face. Heels, too? I ask, pointing down at his girly-looking legs and his small feet stuffed into Zoe's shoes. First pair found, he bashfully replies, straightening out creases in the top he'd just put on. Why do women like to have their stomachs out? He continues, pointing at the fact my sister's top was revealing his belly button. Shrugging in reply, I go to playfully touch his belly button. I see you, I say, reaching to poke his belly button. Batting my hand away in frustration, he groans. Look, walking over to my sister's vanity mirror, can you just go downstairs? I've got to work out how to make myself look like a girl using all this stuff. Eric picks up a small jar of pale makeup and holds it out to me. Unless you happen to be a makeup artist, he says, waving me out of the room. Sure, I reply, enjoying myself. Just don't be a girl about it and keep me waiting. Just as I walk through the doorway, I hear him call out. You're the one who wants me to be a girl, he complains. I think that was you, I quickly answer. I'm not the one pretending to be a girl on the internet. Getting no reply, I knew I was getting to him. Serves him right. Catfishing your best friend is just not the done thing. Sitting quietly on the sofa downstairs, he was taking much longer than I wanted. Endlessly checking my phone, I'd started to worry we'd miss the film, and, more importantly, the family would come back and catch us. Adam? A voice croaks just out of sight. Be nice to me, okay? I've done my best with what I could find. Stepping into the room, I'm left completely in awe. Trying his best to hide it from me, Eric is completely transformed. He looks incredibly feminine. OMG, I blurt out, almost speechless at his transformation. Did you do my hair and makeup? Eric interrupts, shying away. Yeah. I honestly don't believe him. The way he'd styled his natural hair and done the makeup around his eyes has left me stunned. Don't tell your sister I borrowed all this makeup. Eric, please, now looking back up at me. I've used so much of it to try and hide who I am. Gawking at his face, I nod slowly. I can see that, I reply. Pulling his leather jacket tight together, Eric uncomfortably fidgets and fiddles with the height of his skirt. You can't see, my... he asked, looking for an honest answer. You don't think I'm obviously a guy in drag, do you? Shaking my head from side to side, I was actually glad he made a convincing girl. Now that I'd had time to think about it, asking my best friend to dress up like a girl, then pretend to go on a date with him, wasn't the best idea. We need to leave, I tell him, showing him the time. We are going to miss the film. What are we watching? He asks, gently brushing hair from his eyes. Chick flick, I'm afraid, I reply, frowning. Don't worry, though. I'm not expecting you to make out with me. I just want you to suffer. A little bit.